This is the pre-market analysis of 3rd of July. So we are going to get a good gap up opening, and there are a lot of positives that I'll discuss, including the pause in US-Iran attack, and then an alternate proposal between Oman and Iran, and also most importantly, FIIs have bought in billions in the month of July. So all these are looking positive and show some kind of reversal, and we are getting a breakout of 23,525. That's the recent swing high that we have seen. So it came to 23, 24. Sorry, I think I told 23, 24, 525. So market has been stuck in that range of 24, 500 to 23, 800, 600. Last week also it went to 23, 600 and then now reversed till 24, 500 and broken it. Now, today we are going to get an opening above that 24, 530 level. If that sustained, then we will be getting, good move. Otherwise, it's a good gap up of 200 points. Most probably, when you get such kind of gap up, there will be profit booking and there will be reversals and everything. So clearly, it's a buy on dip market. That's the first thing that I want to tell you. Secondly, don't chase it immediately. Thirdly, unlike the other gap ups that we used to get below 24,500, now this is since above 530 and above the breakout level, then we need to consider this as a breakout. So breakout retest opportunities you need to try to capture. So this is all what I want to tell you. Now, if you ask me whether there will be a put option trading opportunity, higher levels, definitely there can be selling opportunities, but the put premium won't increase as much, as you can get in the call, because there is not much uncertainty, not much fear as of now. Now the VIX is falling, so the put premium will fall. And if put premium have to pick up momentum, there has to be some aggressive selling also, and I don't think that will happen. So look for a dip, buy the calls on, when you get the dip, that's the buying opportunity. But if you find the weakness, you can definitely go with the put also, because both side market will move, right? So most probably you'll be getting a big breakout. So the breakout is going to be an opportunity. But again, chasing will be difficult. Chasing will be risky because you're already getting a 1% gap up, which is almost 200 point above. So you need to be careful with that. But retest of breakout is an opportunity. Buy on dip is an opportunity rather than blindly chasing the breakout. Still, I am okay to chase the breakout if I'm an option seller. I can sell the put and I'm okay with it, right? But as a buyer, if the market after the breakout also going sideways or consolidated, then you'll be in trouble. If there is a small dip also, you'll be in trouble. So wait for a dip to around the EMA or retest level, that breakout level. That will be fine. So let's look at the scenarios. Now, first, I'll discuss about Iran-Oman maritime route proposal, the new proposed route. So, Iran stated on Sunday that it was very close to reaching an agreement with Oman regarding the completely new maritime route through the Strait of Hormuz. So, this is not the existing northern route, which is completely controlled by Iran, nor the existing southern route that's largely passing through the Oman's waters. So, it is an alternate one. So, Iran and Oman are discussing a new compromise. That's a new route which is acceptable to both the countries, where there can be a kind of joint management also. So Iran will have a sole authority on control over the northern part, and southern part, though largely it's through Oman waters, no such agreement is there. But an alternate route where there is a possibility that they'll come in an agreement, that is taken very positive by the market. And Iran's foreign minister have told that the proposed route would respect the sovereign rights of both the countries, and it would protect the national security interest of both the countries, both Iran and Oman. And negotiations with Oman are progressing towards finalization, and discussions are in the final stage. So the markets became very positive. I'm talking about crude oil market, of course, the other market also. So what happened? Now GIFT Nifty is indicating 24,600 plus. Uh, right, so GIFT Nifty is 24,620, which means we may be getting around 24,570, 580. Market closed at around 24,380 last day, so it's a 200-point gap up, right? So crude oil price also almost crashed around 6%. So all these are looking positive. So if you look at the background of this proposal, until last week, Oman wanted a more internationally accepted shipping agreement and arrangement, but Iran wanted a greater control over the ships entering and leaving the Strait of Hormuz. But now, the important point is that both the countries appear to be discussing a completely new route instead of continuing their dispute over the existing northern and southern route. So the current status of the agreement is the proposed agreement is separate from the question of whether the Strait of Hormuz is officially open or not. But If commercial tankers can safely use the new route, it would, practically function as a partial reopening of the strait, and this energy crisis may come down. But there are some limitation. It's not formally signed so far. It's just the discussion, and it is also not very clear when the route will become operational, how many ships will be allowed or permitted, whether the transit fees will be charged or not. Most probably it will be charged, and what security guarantees will be providing. All these are still not clear. But the positive is that it's a very important, positive progress, I would say. It's not yet a complete reopening of the agreement. Now, apart from this, if you see, yeah, Trump statement is also there. Trump told that US and Israel were planning fresh attack against Iran during the weekend, and that actually pushed the crude oil price higher over that day, Friday. And Friday oil price, if you see, Brent crude moved around 90 and WTI around 85. But US attack, that attack was put on hold. On Saturday evening, Trump told that the US would temporarily hold the attack, which is the military attack which has been planned. Iran and several unnamed Middle Eastern countries have requested additional time to complete an agreement. So again, Trump demanded a rapid agreement that is covering the reopening of Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program. Iran responded. Iran completely rejected Trump's version. Iran said it had not asked the US to stop the attack. Trump's statement is something which is very, very much false, and no such agreement had been reached to completely reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So what we need to understand is Iran and US is presenting different versions. The US did not launch a fresh attack. That is positive. So that is what I'm talking about positively. So the crude oil prices came down 6%. US have not attacked Iran over the weekend. That is positive, just like last weekend. And this new alternative route, which is in discussion with Oman and Iran, these are positives with respect to that geopolitical tension. Because of that, the crude oil prices came down, and our market is now indicating a breakout of 24,530 and is opening above that. That is a very comfortable zone. Right now, the Brent crude is around 84, WTI is around 81, which is 7% lower. Now, if you look at FII activity in July, see, consecutively they were selling. FIIs turned buyers in the month of July. And if you look at the primary market investment, through primary market means IPOs and QIPs, they bought around 1.25 billion. Secondary equity market, that's your BSE, NSE, listed shares, there again 1 billion. So total almost July investment is 2.31 billion. This is the highest monthly investment if you consider the last 1 year. So can this be a reversal is the bigger question. But of course, between March and June, FIIs have sold almost 26 billion from Indian equities, but still they bought it in July for at least 1/10th of that. That's actually a looking good sign. So the entire outflow that has been happened in the last few months have not returned, but the direction changed from selling to buying. That means the sentiments have changed, and secondary market investment directly benefit the existing listed companies also, including the major Nifty stocks like HDFC, Reliance, etc. So the July figure is like backward looking, but in fact, it is providing a psychological positive that FIIs are turning out to be buyers. So these are the main points that I want to discuss. And if you look at US markets, Friday closed positive, but not much. Dow is almost 0.5 up, S&P 0.7, Nasdaq 1%. Amazon earning, yeah, it was having strong growth. So the price of the stock have increased more than 15%. Microsoft increased around 3%, but Apple declined around 7.4%. The reason mentioned is there is a concern regarding iPhone demand after the latest price increase announcement. So US market rally, that's anyway positive. Weekend development is also positive. Crude oil price is also positive. Oman Iran, discussion is also positive. IT ADRs showing some positivity. Infosys is significantly positive. Wipro is again very much positive. There is an arbitrage difference of almost 2 to 3%. HDFC is slightly negative, but I think that will overcome today when we open the market. And then ICICI also slightly negative. So banks look slightly negative in terms of ADR, but that may change the scenario when the market open. It could be arbitrage indication. We cannot say clearly positive or negative. Slightly decline towards that negative side anyway, but still maybe with our market opening with strong positive bias and all these global development, we may move higher and the correction will definitely be there. So all things are looking positive, very less of negatives. The negative means the fresh route, what is that, and the details and all is not available. Banking area is negative. US Treasury yields still remain elevated. Apart from that, nothing much to discuss. Institutional activity last day, also FIIs bought for 300 crore. So 3,000 crore, 750 crore, 3,600 crore, 300 crore. They were buying for 4 days. DIAs bought for 2,250 crore. If you look at derivative data, new call open interest is around 12%, put open interest is around 23%. PCR increased to 1.33, which is again very bullish. Positioning clients are 18% bullish, FIIs 15% bearish, prop traders are 3.6 bearish. So again, looking bullish overall. So these are the main points that you need to look at. So it's a clear buy on dip market, I would say. So if you would like to trade with us during the live market session, we have the live market mentoring program where you can trade with me live, and I'll be explaining my trades with my analysis. It's a mentoring program, not a call providing program or anything. I teach you how we trade based on the available market data, and we trade accordingly. So if you would like to join, talk to our team, join the session, see you there.